How good really is GoPro Hero 10's stabilization? Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out, I'm going to test it with no stabilization on. I'm then going to test it with Hypersmooth turned on. And then last but not least, I'm going to test it with ReelSteady GO 2 and see what that does. You're not going to believe the results. So this is a test right now with no stabilization on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to test it, no stabilization on. When you're doing the test or when you're filming and you want to use ReelSteady, you can't have any stabilization on in your GoPro. This is in a vlogging setup. So just basically I'm walking and we'll see what this is like. So I would imagine that it's fairly jumpy right now. It's not going to be very steady, because I don't have the boost on and I don't have ReelSteady on right now. So this is what it looks like in a vlogging setup. We'll also do a test later on and see what it's actually going to look like when it's all stabilized and everything else. So we'll see how that will go. Okay, so now we got the Hypersmooth on, and Hypersmooth is just set to standard. This is the camera looking at me and just set to standard. And now we're going to take a look and see with the camera going forward. So this is going forward and just at a walking pace. So this time we have the Hypersmooth on and it's set to boost. So this is the highest possible stabilization that you can have on it. I can also turn on linear with horizon leveling, but this right now at the moment it's just at a walking pace, and it's Hypersmooth 4.0 and the boost is the highest possible for the Hypersmooth. This one is Hypersmooth turned on, it's on boost, and also we have the linear stabilization on as well. So this is walking, Hypersmooth on, set to boost highest possible, and linear stabilization. Okay, so this is horizon leveling, Hypersmooth 4.0, set to boost. We're just walking right now. So this is the highest possible in-camera stabilization that we can do. The camera's moving around a little bit, so this would be a ReelSteady applied to a typical vlogging situation. You have to remember that if you are going to use ReelSteady, you can't have any stabilization on in the camera. No horizon leveling, no Hypersmooth turned on. So basically everything turned off or it will not work. So this is a very typical vlogging situation, and we're just going to apply the ReelSteady GO and see what this looks like. Again, we have ReelSteady GO applied right now. This is with ReelSteady GO turned off. This is with ReelSteady GO turned on. Turned off. And turned on. Okay, so I'm going to show you another typical push-in shot. So again, this is with ReelSteady GO applied. This is with a right to left shot. I'm going to have more control over this. So okay, so we're on wide. Stabilization is turned off on the camera. So I'm going to apply ReelSteady GO, and let's see what that looks like. So this is with ReelSteady GO off, and this is with the ReelSteady GO on. Okay, so this is with the ReelSteady GO off, and this is with the ReelSteady GO on. Okay, so this time we've got the Hypersmooth turned on and it's set to boost, so the highest possible stabilization without horizon leveling on. I think we can get a fairly good idea because of the straight run that's here. Okay, so we're back to wide again and Hypersmooth is turned on. So we're on boost. Hypersmooth turned on and we're on boost. Okay, so this time Hypersmooth is turned on again, but this time we have Hypersmooth set to standard. So should be a difference between standard and boost. I'm just walking at a steady pace. Now we're back on ReelSteady GO again. I guess what I'm trying to do here at the moment is just see how good this will be for vlogging. I'm not a big fan, I have to say now, of indoors with the GoPro Hero 10, but I think it's absolutely perfect for outdoors. So will it work as a vlogging setup? I think it's going to work really well. Right now at the moment I've got my wireless microphone set up with this. It's kind of a windy day, spitting rain at the moment, but it's a pretty good test for it. So is this going to be a good vlogging setup or not? I've got my Joby 1K and my Ulanzi cage and the external microphone. I'm stabilizing the footage this time with ReelSteady GO 2, and hopefully it's as stable as you can get. Right, so even though I'm not in my running gear, it's not stabilized right now at the moment, so I'm going to turn the camera and let's do a little bit of a jog to see how steady that the ReelSteady GO can make this. Okay, so this time we have the Hypersmooth is turned back on again. We have it set to boost and we'll test that, see how it looks. Just do a little bit of a jog and see how we go. So we got no Hypersmooth on this time. We're going to see how that fares out in the little jog test. Not too good, I'm guessing. Okay, so I'm just going to do a small little bit of a test here. I've got a scene in the beautiful Ballincollig Park near my home here, so I'm just going to see what it's going to be like doing push-ins and stuff like that, you know, some cinematic shots, just to see what that would look like when I need to steady up the shot. We'll see what it looks like, so let's take a look. Okay, so I got the camera on wide and it's set to boost. I'm just going to do some pushing shots like that. Okay, so now I got it set to horizon leveling, linear horizon leveling, and the boost is on high. Okay, so this time we've got all stabilization turned off, and let's see what a push-in is going to look like. Okay, so I hope you got a lot out of that. You know, the stabilization in the GoPro itself is absolutely fantastic, but also for, I guess, more cinematic shots and for faster shots and a little bit more stabilization, that ReelSteady GO 2 is absolutely amazing. I mean, you know what it does to your footage. But don't forget, if you are using ReelSteady GO, that you do have to turn the stabilization off on your GoPro. But the stabilization in the GoPro itself is fantastic and just gets a hell of a lot better with ReelSteady GO. Thanks folks for joining in. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, don't forget to like this video. Also don't forget to subscribe and leave any comments below for any other videos that you might like to see. Thanks for tuning in folks, and have an absolutely wonderful day.